Hello and welcome to the Candid Cashflow podcast, episode 61. I'm your host, Ava Fails. Alright, I hope everyone is doing well, that you had a great weekend, and your 2020 is rolling along nicely. If you're new around here, my name's Ava, and I'm the host of the Candid Cashflow podcast. I'd like to invite you to subscribe at candidcashflow.com/subscribe, and also, check out my email list. I'm sending out some pretty, what I think are epic emails every day. I'm not selling stuff all the time. It's just informative stuff. In fact, I'm turning those emails into a book right now. So, if you'd like to check that out, see what other people are saying, you can do so at candidcashflow.com/email. Now, let's jump right into the Q&A. This is the first time that I've ever done a Q&A on the Candid Cashflow podcast, or really on anything. So, what I did was I put out the feelers to my email list for questions. I didn't get a whole lot. I've got a grand total of 7 questions to answer for you here today. And so we're just going to hang out and answer these questions. So, without further ado, right off the top, from Sandy, I got, how important are keywords today? Should one think less about them and work social media with ads? What's the trend? Or these days, or should we just ignore trends altogether? So this is kind of this question is kind of like 3 questions in one. How important are keywords today? Well, right now, search is going through a bit of a transition. So, Google is currently transitioning from search engine optimization to kind of a search experience optimization. So, they want you to optimize for humans. They have always wanted you to optimize for humans and not for the search engine itself. And so, with that in mind, they're kind of transitioning towards the experience kind of things, and especially toward user intent. So they kind of want you to, they don't really want you to do anything as far as SEO. Google doesn't really support SEO as a whole. Like they put out information and things about it, but it's not something that they wholeheartedly support. They're very secretive about their algorithm and things like that. So keywords today are still very relevant. I mean, that's pretty much all that we have to go on when we're, choosing a niche and things like that. We're going to be, looking what kind of keywords we can pull out and use to our advantage when we're trying to get people to come to our website. But there's a few things with this user intent thing in the back of your mind that you can kind of keep in mind. And that is, a lot of people search with questions. How do I blank with blank? How do I blank? How much is blank? Whatever. So I always think along those lines, if there's any questions that you can form with your keywords. If you're unsure, there's a great website. It's called answerthepublic.com. You get 5 free searches on that website per day for free. After that, it's like something ridiculous, like $99 a month or something. But what it does is it returns questions that people might ask regarding your keyword. So it's just a plethora of those how-to, what-if type keyword phrases that you might consider using to sort of transition toward the intent sort of things with search. And just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Stay abreast of what's going on. There's a website, there's several websites for SEO. You got Search Engine Journal, Search Engine Examiner, I think is one. But yeah, just the Moz blog, Ahrefs blog, any SEO tools blog is going to be a really good place to keep up with SEO trends and just figure out what is going on in that realm of things. Since it's one of those things that's constantly changing, you do kind of have to, stay on top of it. You can always use Google itself and type in your search. So, SEO trends or, new SEO data, whatever, I don't know, as far as SEO goes. And then just use that tools link and filter your search for, last month or last year to make sure you're getting up to the date stuff. So, as far as trends, like what's the trend and should we ignore the trends? Absolutely not. Google has a trends platform. If you go to trends.google.com, you land on Google Trends. So they have a platform for trends. Pinterest has a platform for trends. Any search engine really is going to have trends. If you go on Twitter, they have trends, the trending hashtags. So you should definitely pay attention to what's trending, but I don't think you should gear your content toward what's trending unless it fits in with your niche. Moving on to the next question. This one comes from Mary, and it says, please explain how to get paid for writing on Medium, and what is your strategy for doing so? So I'm just going to answer that outright. So I haven't started writing for Medium yet. I have some old stuff on there from a few years ago. I haven't started the new stuff yet, but my strategy simply is to be consistent. So I plan to post on Medium on a daily basis. To get paid to write for Medium, you just simply join the Medium Partner Program, and you can do so at medium.com/creators. My second question coming in from Mary is generating ideas from your email content for your podcast too redundant to maintain listenership among your email readers? That would kind of be up to my email readers, I guess. I know that not everyone on my email list is into podcasts. I do know that much. It's a good point to think that maybe, they wouldn't want to read it in an email and also hear it in a podcast, but I don't think it's going to be too redundant because I'm always going to go into more detail on the podcast than I would in an email, so that would be the same for any written content that I generate for my email ideas as well. Like I said, I'm compiling my emails into a book and I'm elaborating on those topics. Next couple questions are coming in from Andy. The first one he wanted to know is, how do you stay motivated when the results are underwhelming or not as you expected? I think I just naturally have this never quit attitude. That's just I don't know where it came from. I would have to attribute it to my mom after seeing her go through, a stroke and cancer in the last year. I'd have to say that probably comes from her. And, just being able to see people online. I work as a virtual assistant, and, I've seen a lot of balance sheets. I've seen some PayPal accounts. I've seen, some publishing accounts with the revenue. So I've seen the numbers. I know that it's possible. I've seen it with my own two eyes, and I think that keeps me motivated to an extent. If they can do it, so can I. So this has worked for me since 2006. No, I haven't made the big time. I am able to generate a full-time income currently from what I do online, but it's not... There's a lot of things lacking in that income. I'm not reaching all of my goals. I'm just kind of barely scraping by. So those things keep me motivated. My why, my overwhelming why. I have elderly parents that I want to take care of. I have to provide for myself for retirement since I don't work for a company. that sets that up for me. I have to provide for myself as far as healthcare benefits, and so I don't work for a company that provides that for me. So, I have this overwhelming why to succeed, and I have to succeed or die trying. That's just how I feel about it. Andy's second question: any suggestions on how to prioritize which tasks and projects to focus on? It can be kind of hard to know how to prioritize what you're doing. Like, I know, like, the more work that I have incoming from clients, the worse I am at prioritizing what I should be working on and where I should be focusing. If it was just my business and I wasn't working for these other people, I would say focus on the things that matter. So for me, and for what I teach, that would be website, email list to start. So you've got your acquisition channel, your website, you've got your retention channel, which is your email list, and then it's time to work on an engagement channel, which usually is some form of social media. I would get that platform established first and foremost, and then after that, I would start testing things, and I would kind of test those things on a smaller scale so that I could run through the test more quickly. I'm not a spring chicken. I don't have a lot of time to sit around and figure things out. I mean, I've been at this since 2006. It's time for me to find whatever it is and run with it, right? So, as far as testing and things like that, I'm gonna be looking for things that are kind of, are already proven, that I can take based on the knowledge that I already have and know it's gonna work before I put too much time and effort into it. With the email list, it was just something that I tried off the cuff, and it's, turned out to be the most epic thing that I've done for my business almost ever, is writing to my email list every day. So those two questions come in from Andy, and he's got a book he wants you to check out. So please grab the show notes at candidcashflow.com/episode 61 to get the link to Andy's book. He's a super smart dude, and he writes about like cryptocurrency and some things like that. So he's also got a real estate book out as well. Super smart guy, great book. So be sure you check that out. And we're down to the final couple questions. These are coming in from an anonymous source. The first one is, do you think people who aren't quite sure what they want to do online should build an email capture page or a blog/website which just says something generic until the time they want to turn it into something more detailed? So basically, this person sounds like they don't know what they want their niche to be or really what they want to do online, and they're asking if they should go ahead and build that website and that email list, even though they don't know those two things. And I'm going to venture to say absolutely, because recently I came across this fellow. His name is Nat Eliason. That's ELIASON. NatEliason.com. Again, that link will be in the show notes. And he has a blog that doesn't really have a niche. He kind of writes about all kinds of things. But it's so well organized. It's so well organized that he can kind of get away with it. And, he's building a list with that website, and he's putting out his content and whatnot. So be sure to check out the blog post or the show notes for a link to that site so you can see what Nat's doing. But yeah, totally. I think the first asset that you should build online, even before your website, is to set up a MailChimp account and start building that email list, because everybody says that. Like, ever since I've been studying internet marketing, from day one, it was build your email list. And I was just like, whatever. Like, what am I going to do with an email list? I want to write blogs and I want people to come read my blogs, right? Well, so I did that. Well, nothing happened for me in my business until I started building an email list. when you build an email list, you have an audience that's kind of built into your platform at that point. So do not snooze on the email list part. I know it seems like, if you don't know what to do with your list, you don't know what to send to your list, it seems like, well, why would I even mess with that? Trust me, mess with it. If you don't build an email list, go on Facebook and build a messenger list. Build some type of list where you can build a rapport with your audience and retain them, because otherwise they're just going to kind of leak away and you'll never have regular visitors, fans, customers, followers, or whatever it is that you're going for. Once you figure out what you want your niche to be, then you can start gearing what you've already built to fit in with your niche. Odds are, if you built it, it's not going to be that different. You're not going to have to do that much tweaking. So yeah, absolutely build. Another question from Anonymous is in regard to, the person says, seems like there should be a template for building a generic blog or email capture for people who don't have a niche yet, but who one day might. So again, it's along that same vein. I don't know what my niche is. There are just too many WordPress templates to choose from. Which ones are the best for the standard situation? Well, WordPress actually installs with a few default templates already in the dashboard. You can always go with one of those. The cool thing about those default templates is they usually don't have compatibility issues with plugins and things of that nature. Aside from that, also right from your dashboard, you're able to install third-party templates into WordPress, and you can search those and filter them down based on things like color, how many columns you want, and things of that nature. So also you can filter by different features that you want the template to have and whatnot. So if you're just looking for clean and simple, you can actually just go on Google and say, hey, clean, simple, free WordPress themes, and you'll get a bunch of list posts with screenshots and probably links to a demo where you can kind of go and visit that and check it out and see if it would work for you. But yeah, you should be able to get a visual on what kind of templates are out there. But pretty much these days, anything that's in the WordPress repository in the dashboard is going to be good, compatible, and that sort of thing with WordPress, and you're not going to have problems with it. I used to have a list. That list is now aged. Currently, I'm using, on my website, I'm using a template. I believe it's called Fluida. So it's like fluid with an A on the end. That one, Hestia, Hestia is a good one. OnePress is a good one. I believe there's a one page as well. That's all I got off the top of my head. But yeah, pretty much anything, like I say, you can just Google search according to kind of what you want, clean, free, WordPress theme or whatever, or just search and filter in the repository itself. And you should be able to find something that will fit your situation there. Most any WordPress theme that you find that way is really built to kind of be a one-size-fits-all anyway. So, and the cool thing about it is, if you get a template you don't like it, all you have to do is install a new one and activate it, and then you're done with that old thing that you hated. So that's going to do it for the Q&A, y'all. So 7 questions. That wasn't too bad. It was fun. I feel a little more relaxed just kind of talking and not staring at an outline and getting out of breath and things like I normally do. I'm just not I just don't feel very confident as a speaker, I guess. Like I've worked on it. I've tried to get better at it. I don't know if that's working out for me, but I know that I love podcasting, so Thanks for being here for my first Q&A on the Candid Cashflow podcast. There will definitely be more to come. If you'd like to ask a question in the next Q&A, go ahead and send it over. You can hit the blog contact, so candidcashflow.com, and just click the contact tab, or I believe the contact form, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the homepage, is there at the bottom. Send your questions that way. You can send them via Twitter. It's twitter.com/candidcashflow. Let's see what else. Email, you can send them via email, same deal, contact form on the website. If you have a question that you would like to include it in the next one, send it on over, and I'll do another one of these as soon as I get, 5 to 10 questions. So, hey, that's going to do it for episode 61. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe at candidcashflow.com/subscribe in your favorite listening app. Leave us a review. Hey, join my email list. See what everybody else is saying about it. You can do that at candidcashflow.com/email. That's all I got. So remember, I release a new episode each Wednesday. Until next time, turning your passion into cash flow.